The Fair Green has been a recreational area for the people of Carrick-on-Suir for generations. They have played games on it, seen circuses on it, held carnivals, sold cattle, even dumped on it. It's undeveloped to the point of ugliness. It's really nothing more than an open space, but it's as much a part of Carrick as any landmark. In fact, to the ordinary townsfolk, it means more. The Fair Green, 5 acres in the midst of houses and schools, has belonged to the people of the town since it was given them as a gift by Lord Ormond a couple of 100 years ago. This has been one of the reasons why it was never developed, because clear title to the land could never be established. Until recently, that is. For under a new Open Spaces Act which came into operation this year, the urban councillors are now the owners. They've put a price of £5,000 an acre on it, and just recently offered 2 acres of it to the nuns of the Presentation Order on which to build a school. But it's a decision that doesn't have the approval of most people.
I don't like the green going, because always the children played on the green. And I had a child of 14 nearly drowned it this year, and had he been on the green, I wouldn't have gone through what I went through.
Oh, I wouldn't agree with it at all. I was born and bred here on the outskirts of the green. And the green was always here for circuses, carnivals, and all kinds of sports that came to the town, and a playground for the children. And if they're 2 acres sold to the nuns, somebody will come along and buy the other 2 acres. A big wall go around it all, and there'll be nobody allowed in here.
Well, I'm secretary of the local swimming pool committee here, and we have a site got on the green, on the northeast corner of the green, a site of about a half an acre.
For a swimming pool?
For a swimming pool. And we feel that we'd be entitled to a site on the green because it's as much recreation as hurling and football and soccer and the rest.
It should not be sold. Because one thing, I tell you, there are children on this green, while I remember. There were fine hurling matches played on that green. And this green was black with men in 1908, 1907, 1912. There were fine matches played in that green with football and hurling matches.
Carrick-on-Suir, this pleasant, bustling town nestling by the river, is embarrassed by the row over the green. People here acknowledge the contribution to education the Presentation nuns have made, but they feel a principle is at stake. They say any plans the nuns have for school building should be within the context of land they already own. The news of the councillors' offer brought an immediate reaction. A special public meeting in the town hall, at which only 4 of 9 councillors were present, rejected the idea of any sale. Almost 1,000 signatures have been canvassed in a Save Our Green campaign around the town, and a Green Preservation Society has been formed. It rejects the idea of letting any of the green go, even, for instance, for a swimming pool. They want it retained as it is. Jim Drone is the Society's secretary.
There was a town planning meeting held in the town hall here, and the public were invited. But we weren't very interested in the town planning at this stage. We didn't know what the contents were. And it's only now that the council have definitely given permission to the nuns to build this that we've come out strongly against it, because the councillors have given the green against public opinion. They didn't look for the opinion of the public in this.
But when the council have made their decision, is there anything in fact you can do?
There is. We can object strongly, which we are doing. We held a public meeting last night, and I think the result of that meeting will prove to the council that people don't want any buildings on the green.
But are you not being a small bit selfish about this? If there is need for a school here in the town, surely that comes before the recreational facilities in this particular spot when there are other spots available.
I agree that the school is probably necessary, but the Presentation Convent have 11 acres of ground, about 400 yards from this spot, and it would be ideal for a fine big school. Now, our biggest objection is that the council have now got authority to take over this green. And if they give permission to the nuns to build, they can give permission to anyone else who comes along to build on the green. And in a short time, the whole place will be closed up.
Carrick-on-Suir Urban Council originally considered the question of selling part of the green back in February, when the nuns outlined their plans and suggested the green opposite their convent would be ideal for building. In fact, the town's development plan assumes such a sale and its publication through no objections locally. But the council's decision at the most recent meeting to give away 2 acres, in addition to a promise of another area in which to build a swimming pool, has been resented. The Urban Council will want 10 acres of the nuns' land well outside the town in exchange, but Councillor David Drohan, father of Jim Drohan, and one of those who voted in favour of the nuns getting some of the green, says he was influenced by educational needs.
Down through the years, the green has been the property of the people. Now, as guardians of the interests of the people, how does the Urban Council justify their sale of part of it?
Well, I don't know how the Urban Council justify themselves, but personally, while I do know that the green belongs to the people and has been theirs for years, I do feel that it has not been fully utilised. And the portion that the nuns were looking for, or the portion that I would give them, I felt would not in any way affect the amenities that the people felt that was theirs.
Yet, this decision now made by you and the other councillors, surely this was against the interests of the town, because after all, you were aware of the opposition by the majority of people to any sale.
No, I don't think the opposition was there as such until the giving of the green was an accomplished fact. This thing was mooted last February and came before the old council, and they, in fact, in principle, they granted this to the nuns, insofar as that they asked them to submit a plan. And as far as I'm aware, all we were asked to do was to allow them to go ahead with the plan.
But isn't there a point here about creating a dangerous precedent that when you give part of the green, that ultimately the whole of the green will be given?
Oh, I do, certainly. I'm very aware of this. And I do hope that if the community here do get part of the green, that it will be inserted in the minutes of the council that no other part be given for any other purpose. Because I do feel that the green is needed for the local children to play in.